Listen closely, because what I'm about to show you might just be hiding in your pocket right now, and it could change your life forever. These aren't ordinary nickels. These are time capsules of American history, ultra-rare Jefferson 5-cent coins that collectors are literally fighting for in today's market. And here's the twist. Some of these coins are so elusive, so breathtakingly rare, that their value has skyrocketed beyond imagination. We're talking about coins that turn ordinary Americans into overnight legends in the numismatic world. But before you rush to your coin jar or your dresser drawer, hold on, because only a handful of people know what to look for: the hidden signs, the secret mint marks, the subtle errors that transform a simple nickel into a treasure worth more than gold. In today's video, we're diving deep, uncovering the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Jefferson nickels ever found in circulation. You'll discover the forgotten history, the hidden markings, and the shocking truth behind these elusive coins. So buckle up, because what you're about to see isn't just fascinating, it's absolutely jaw-dropping. This is Rare Coin News USA, and today we reveal the treasures that could be hiding in plain sight. Coin number 1, the 1964 with D. Jefferson nickel, the hidden giant of American change. When we talk about the 1960s, we picture an era of revolution, the space race, the birth of modern America, and a new dream of prosperity. But hidden within that same decade, deep in the Denver Mint in 1964, something extraordinary was created. Something that today stands as one of the rarest and most sought-after nickels in American history, the legendary 1964 with D. Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looks like any other coin you might toss into a vending machine or leave forgotten in your glove compartment. But don't be fooled. Beneath that simple shine lies a story of minting chaos, government policy, and collector obsession that makes this coin one of the most powerful symbols of American numismatic history. You see, 1964 was a turning point for U.S. coinage. The nation was facing a massive coin shortage. People were hoarding silver coins left and right. To fill the gap, the U.S. Mint went into overdrive, producing more nickels than ever before. But here's where it gets interesting. During that chaotic production rush, rare die varieties and special minting quirks appeared. Flaws that today make certain 1964 with D. Jefferson nickels absolutely priceless. Minted in Denver, this coin carries the bold D mark, a sign that it came from one of America's most industrious mints. Struck primarily from 75% copper and 25% nickel, its composition may sound ordinary, but its story is anything but. The 1964 with D nickel in very fine condition is not just rare, it's nearly mythical. Imagine this. Out of hundreds of millions of nickels produced that year, only a microscopic fraction have survived in collectible condition, untouched by time, with their surfaces still gleaming with mid-century character. What makes it truly unique? The sharpness of Jefferson's profile, the clarity of the Monticello dome, the crispness of that D mint mark, all details that collectors study under magnifying lenses like archaeologists uncovering ancient treasure. But here's the twist. Many of these coins were melted, worn down, or simply lost forever in the swirl of American commerce. So when a clean, original 1964 with D. Jefferson nickel surfaces in near-perfect shape, collectors go into frenzy mode. Auction houses light up. Bidders hold their breath. And when the hammer finally drops, jaws hit the floor. Because today, this very coin, the 1964 with D. Jefferson nickel in very fine condition, has reached a market value that leaves even seasoned collectors stunned. $126,000. That's right, $126,000 for a 5-cent coin minted in Denver 6 decades ago. And here's the most shocking part. This isn't fantasy, this isn't rumor, this is reality. The value of this coin is rising every single year. It's a treasure that grows more powerful with time, a piece of history that keeps rewarding those who recognize its brilliance. This isn't just money, this is legacy. This coin has survived the test of time, carrying with it the soul of 1964 America, a year of change, hope, and transformation. Collectors know that owning a coin like this isn't about profit alone. It's about connection to something greater, something eternal. For anyone hunting through their change jars, their old coffee tins, or their grandparents' drawers, this is your wake-up call. The 1964 with D. Jefferson Nickel is out there, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what they're looking for. And that someone could be you. Check the edges, look for sharp details, examine that D mint mark, and remember, condition is everything. A worn nickel might buy you a stick of gum, but a well-preserved 1964 with D nickel in fine condition could buy you a future. So, my fellow treasure hunters, keep your eyes open and your magnifiers ready. Because in the world of rare coins, the next great discovery isn't made by luck, it's made by those who believe. And believe me when I say this is just the beginning. The next coin on our list will blow your mind even more. And remember, this is Rare Coin News USA, your daily doorway into America's hidden treasures. Subscribe right now, because tomorrow's update might just reveal the next million-dollar mystery sitting right in your pocket. Coin number 2, the 1977 Jefferson Nickel without Mintmark, the phantom of modern coinage. And just when you thought the rarest Jefferson Nickel was buried in the 1960s, another silent legend emerges from an era of disco lights, space exploration, and the rise of modern America. The year is 1977, and the United States Mint is at full throttle. Millions upon millions of coins were produced that year, each carrying a piece of American identity, each destined for the palms of everyday citizens. But among those countless nickels, one anomaly slipped through, one mystery coin that seemed to defy the rules. A Jefferson nickel struck without a mint mark, a ghost in the machine, a phantom of U.S. coinage. And today, this very coin is considered one of the most elusive modern treasures in American numismatics, the 1977 Jefferson Nickel with no mint mark. Now, most people glance right past this coin, assuming it is ordinary. But true collectors know better. That missing mint mark is everything. In 1977, coins were struck at multiple mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But every mint was expected to leave its signature, a tiny letter, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco. Yet somehow, a small batch, so few that experts still debate how many, emerged without any mark at all. No D, no S, nothing. Just Jefferson's calm, stoic face staring back, guarding a secret the mint never intended to release. This is what makes the 1977 no mint mark Jefferson Nickel so breathtaking. It wasn't a deliberate minting decision. It was a moment of chance, a minting mishap that created one of the most hauntingly rare modern nickels in existence. Most people will go their entire lives without seeing one. Even fewer will recognize it if they do. But for the collectors who do know, this coin is pure adrenaline. It's the kind of find that makes your heart race, your hands tremble, because you realize, in that moment, you might be holding a piece of history that defied every rule. The coin itself carries the signature Jefferson design, a portrait of the Third United States. President on the obverse, his home Monticello on the reverse. Made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, it's the same metal blend used since the late 1940s. But don't let that simplicity fool you. It's the absence of the mint mark that transforms this coin from common change into a silent masterpiece. In fine condition, this 1977 no Mintmark nickel shows gentle wear, light aging, but still keeps those iconic details intact. Jefferson's gaze, the steps of Monticello, the shine of genuine history. Now, what truly pushes this coin into legend is its rarity. The Philadelphia Mint didn't mark its coins until the 1980s, which means collectors must identify genuine Mintmark errors through the tiniest clues, die strikes, positioning, and texture. And when one of these flawless no-mark specimens appears in the open market, it sets collectors ablaze. Forums buzz, auctions explode, and serious investors take notice. Because in the modern world of coin collecting, rarity is power, and this nickel, it's a quiet storm that's been building value every single year. And today, this very coin, the 1977 Jefferson nickel without Mintmark, in fine condition, has stunned collectors with its market surge. $113,000. Yes, $113,000. A 5-cent coin that now commands 6 figures of pure treasure value. This isn't imagination, this isn't hype, this is fact. Its market price has climbed steadily, year after year, as collectors realize how impossibly scarce these no Mintmark strikes truly are. And experts agree the upward trend is far from over. This coin is a sleeping giant, a rising titan of American numismatics, and it is still climbing. So if you ever find a 1977 Jefferson nickel in your loose change, your pocket, or your old coin collection, don't rush past it. Don't dismiss it. Look closely, because if that tiny Mintmark is missing, you could be staring at a fortune disguised as 5 cents. That's the magic of this coin. It hides its greatness in plain sight. It's humble, unassuming, but unbelievably powerful in the hands of someone who recognizes it. This coin is more than a piece of metal. It's a symbol of how chance and history intertwine. It reminds us that even in the most ordinary places, even in everyday change, there are miracles waiting to be found. To hold this coin is to hold a story. The story of a minting mistake that became a masterpiece, of a forgotten detail that turned into a national treasure. And if that doesn't make your heart race, nothing will. So to all my fellow treasure hunters across America, keep your eyes open, because the next legendary find might be waiting in your own wallet. This coin is proof that sometimes fortune doesn't announce itself, it whispers. And that whisper could make you part of American coin history. You're watching Rare Coin News USA, your home for America's hidden treasures, where we bring you fresh updates every single day. And don't go anywhere, because the next coin on our list is even rarer, and its story will leave you absolutely speechless. Coin number 3, the 1978 Jefferson nickel without Mintmark, the Gray Layer Mystery. Now imagine this. You're sorting through your spare change one quiet afternoon, half bored, half curious, and then you see it. A nickel that looks different. Something about the surface. The color, that strange, silvery gray layer that glows almost ghost-like under the light. You lean in closer, and your heart skips a beat. There's no Mintmark. Nothing. Just Jefferson's steady profile, the word liberty, and that grayish tone that feels out of place. Congratulations, you might just be staring at one of the most mysterious and valuable nickels ever minted in the United States. The legendary 1978 Jefferson nickel without Mintmark, the Gray Layer Rarity. Now, before you dismiss that old coin as ordinary, let's take a step back. The year was 1978. America was changing. Technology was advancing. Inflation was shaking the dollar and the United States. Mint was perfecting its modern coinage. The Jefferson nickel had been around for decades, a familiar face in everyone's pocket. But somewhere inside the Philadelphia Mint, during one of the routine production runs, something went wrong. A batch of coins came out with a strange surface, a gray layer unlike any normal nickel finish. It wasn't plated, it wasn't polished. It was the result of a subtle minting anomaly, a blending inconsistency in the metal alloy that gave certain 1978 nickels an eerie, ghostly tone. And that's not all. Many of these unusual coins also appeared without a mint mark, making them even more mysterious. The Philadelphia Mint, at that time, rarely used mint marks, so the absence itself wasn't shocking. But the combination, no mint mark, plus that haunting grey layer, made this coin a complete enigma to collectors. Experts debated its origin for years. Some said it was a surface reaction, others believed it was a rare striking anomaly involving Planchet impurities. But no matter the explanation, one thing is certain: this coin stands out the moment you see it. It's not just a coin, it's a conversation with history itself. The 1978 Jefferson Nickel is composed, like most others, of 75% copper and 25% nickel, yet the striking of this specific variety gave it an unmistakable two-toned, grey-tinted surface that seems to shimmer differently under each angle of light. And when found in very fine condition, the details come alive. Jefferson's cheekbone, the subtle hair texture, and the perfectly balanced steps of Monticello glisten like they were frozen in time. This is not the kind of coin you toss into a parking meter. This is the kind of coin that collectors dream about for years. Now, let's talk about Rarity, because this is where the story takes a turn from interesting to jaw-dropping. Only a handful of genuine 1978 grey layer, no mint mark nickels have ever been authenticated in pristine or near-pristine condition. Most were either overlooked, damaged, or lost to circulation decades ago. So when one surfaces today, especially in very fine condition, it's not just an event. It's an awakening in the collector's world. Auction houses light up. Numismatic forums buzz. Experts lean in. Because every single verified specimen rewrites a tiny piece of American coin history. And here's the part that leaves even seasoned collectors stunned: the market value. Right now, the 1978 Jefferson Nickel without mint mark and with the rare grey layer in very fine condition is valued at a staggering $121,000. Yes, $121,000 for a 5-cent coin you could have held in your hand without ever realizing its power. And this isn't a rumor, it's not speculation, it's real. This coin has become one of the most aggressively sought-after modern rarities in the entire Jefferson Nickel series. And its value? It is climbing higher every year, as collectors realize how incredibly scarce and beautiful this anomaly truly is. Think about that for a moment. Something created by pure accident, born from a slight imperfection in the minting process, has become a national treasure. That subtle grey layer, once considered a flaw, is now its crown. This coin proves that even mistakes can become masterpieces, that even the smallest error can turn ordinary metal into something legendary. So, if you're watching this right now, from anywhere in the United States, take a moment after this video. Go through your change. Check your collections. Look at your nickels under good light. If you find one from 1978 and it has no mint mark and the surface looks slightly grey, almost steel-like, don't ignore it. You might be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. These aren't just coins, they are hidden keys to history, buried treasures that remind us that the past still speaks to us, one nickel at a time. The 1978 Jefferson Nickel without mint mark and grey layer is proof that treasure doesn't always sparkle in gold or silver. Sometimes it hides in the faint shimmer of nickel, waiting for the right eyes to find it. Collectors across America are racing to locate more of these coins, but so far, the number found is incredibly small. Every new discovery sends shockwaves through the numismatic world, and every verified piece adds another chapter to one of the most fascinating mysteries of modern coinage. So, my friends, keep your magnifiers close and your curiosity alive, because somewhere, maybe right now, another 1978 grey layer nickel is waiting to be found. And when it is, it will make someone's life change forever. You're watching Rare Coin News USA, where we uncover America's hidden treasures and bring you fresh updates every single day. Stay tuned, because the next coin we are revealing is even rarer, even more shocking, and could redefine what you thought was possible in the world of nickels. Coin number 4, the 1975 with D. Jefferson Nickel, the coin with brown dots that changed everything. There's a saying in the world of collectors: never overlook a coin that looks strange, because sometimes the ones that appear flawed, the ones that look aged, speckled, or imperfect, are the ones that hold the greatest secrets. And nowhere is that more true than with this next legend, the 1975 Jefferson Nickel with the D Mintmark, the one known across collector circles as the brown dot mystery cell. At first glance, it might look ordinary, maybe even a little worn. But if you've ever seen one under the right light, you know exactly why collectors chase it like buried treasure. Those tiny brown specks on the surface, those faint freckles of time, they tell a story that only history itself could write. The year was 1975, and America was buzzing with change. Gerald Ford was president, the nation was healing from a decade of turbulence, and the United States, Mint in Denver, was running full tilt, striking coins that would travel through millions of American hands. Among those countless Jefferson nickels, something unexpected happened. Some planchets, that's the blank metal discs used before striking, were subtly affected by microscopic oxidation and contamination inside the minting facility. These impurities left distinctive brown spots across a few nickels, but what was dismissed as mint blemishes back then would decades later become one of the most fascinating and valuable coin anomalies in U.S. history. The 1975 with D. Jefferson Nickel, made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, features the classic Jefferson portrait on the obverse and the Monticello design on the reverse. But here's the magic. When those natural impurities mixed with the alloy during striking, they created a surface unlike any other, a natural wall mottled pattern of faint brown dots, like burn marks of history sealed forever into the coin's skin. And this became the defining mark of one of the rarest circulated nickels ever known. You see, most of these 1975 with D nickels with the brown dot anomaly never survived in clean condition. Circulation wore them down, polishing their marks away, erasing their identity. But the few that remained intact, the few that still bear those ghostly brown freckles, have become legendary among Jefferson nickel collectors. Even in circulated condition, they are breathtaking. The brown dots, faint but visible, act like fingerprints of history, proof of a once-overlooked minting peculiarity that turned into one of the most elusive modern rarities on the U.S. market. Now here's where things get really interesting. For years, collectors ignored this coin. Dealers passed over it. The Mint never officially acknowledged the error. But as numismatic experts began to study the unique chemical patterns and surface analysis under microscopes, they realized something astonishing. These weren't simple spots of corrosion or post-mint wear. These were within the metal itself, part of the coin's original composition. That revelation changed everything. And since that discovery, the year 1975 with D. Jefferson Nickel with brown dots has exploded in collector demand. Auction listings that once sat unnoticed are now battlefields of bidding wars. Each authenticated specimen is treated like a treasure unearthed from American soil. And even though this particular coin we are featuring today is in circulated condition, meaning it is seen the world passed through countless hands, it still carries immense power and value. Because rarity isn't just about perfection, it's about existence. And the value of this coin today will leave you stunned. The 1975 D Jefferson nickel with brown dots in circulated condition is now appraised at a jaw-dropping $104,000. Yes, you heard that right. $104,000 for a coin that could have once bought you a pack of gum. But this isn't fiction. This isn't some collector's fantasy. This is real, a living, breathing treasure of numismatic history that continues to climb in value every single year. Because as more collectors discover the significance of this anomaly, the demand keeps growing and the supply is almost non-existent. Think about that for a second. Something created by chance, by a momentary environmental change inside a 1975 Denver minting chamber, has become a priceless heirloom. Every brown speck on that coin is a signature of authenticity, a mark that time cannot erase. It's not a defect, it's destiny. And today, that destiny rewards those with eyes sharp enough to see beyond the ordinary. So if you ever come across a 1975 Jefferson nickel with a small D under the date, take a closer look. If you spot faint brown dots across the surface, even subtle ones, do not ignore it. You could be looking at one of the rarest modern nickels in the United States. Collectors everywhere are scouring their old coin jars, their inherited boxes, their estate finds, hoping for that one miraculous moment, that one discovery that could turn a humble 5-cent coin into a life-changing treasure. The 1975 with D with brown dots is proof that beauty can hide in imperfection, that even the smallest flaws can hold stories worth 6 figures. And as the years go by, its legend only grows stronger. This coin isn't just rare, it's unforgettable. It's a reminder that history isn't always found in the pristine or the polished. Sometimes it lives in the worn, the weathered, and the wonderfully unique. You're watching Rare Coin News USA, where every coin tells a story, and every story might lead you to your own hidden fortune. Stay tuned, because what's coming next will absolutely shock you. The next coin on our list isn't just rare, it's a phenomenon. It's the kind of discovery that rewrites everything you thought you knew about Jefferson nickels. Coin number 5, the 1978 Jefferson nickel without Mintmark, the green and brown layer, treasure. And now we arrive at the final chapter of today's journey through America's hidden treasures. We've uncovered nickels that shocked the market, coins born from chaos, accident, and destiny. But what you're about to see now, this last coin, is something different, something alive. It doesn't just shine, it breathes history. It glows with colors that nature itself painted across its surface, a mix of green and brown that no machine could ever replicate. This is the 1978 Jefferson nickel without Mintmark, known among serious collectors as the earth-toned miracle. Now, 1978 was a year of change and progression for the U.S. Mint. It was the era of modern metallurgy, when precision and perfection ruled. But in that push for perfection, nature found a way to leave its signature. During a brief production window at the Philadelphia Mint, a handful of plaqués, the raw metal blanks, were exposed to subtle environmental oxidation before striking. When the nickel and copper alloy mixed under pressure, they produced a rare green and brown layered surface, a color fusion that experts still can't fully explain. Some call it patina. Some call it chemical art. Collectors, they call it magic. This color pattern is not paint. It is not corrosion. It is a natural chemical evolution that occurred inside the coin itself. It gives the surface an otherworldly sheen, like the copper came alive and bloomed in color after decades of rest. And when you look closely under light, the colors shift. A deep forest green blends into a burnished bronze, dancing across Jefferson's face like a whisper from history. It's unlike anything else in circulation. A natural masterpiece born from pure chance. The 1978 Jefferson Nickel without Mintmark shares the same core composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, but it's that oxidation pattern that makes it a legend. The absence of the Mintmark adds an extra layer of mystery, signaling its Philadelphia origin, the mint that gave the world some of the most famous unmarked rarities in history. And in fine condition, this coin's surface tells its story in perfect balance, not too worn, not too polished. Just enough texture to show it lived through time, yet preserved enough to radiate its strange, earthy beauty. But here's where things turn absolutely electrifying. Only a microscopic fraction of these green and brown 1978 nickels have ever surfaced, so few that even major coin registries have difficulty documenting them. Most were likely dismissed as discolored change and spent into oblivion. That means, for every 1,000 collectors searching today, only a handful will ever find one. It's that rare. It's that coveted. And when one does appear, especially one in fine condition like this, the numismatic world erupts. Auctions freeze, collectors whisper, and the bids begin to climb higher and higher and higher. Because today, this extraordinary 1978, no Mintmark, Jefferson Nickel with green and brown layer has reached a market value that turns heads in every collector circle. $134,000. Yes, $134,000 for a coin that could have once been sitting in someone's coin jar, unnoticed for decades. But not anymore. This coin has become one of the most sought-after, natural-toned rarities in the modern era, a literal masterpiece struck in nickel and copper. And the market? It is still rising. Experts predict this coin's price could double within the coming years. Because beauty this rare, this authentic, only becomes more valuable with time. What is most incredible is what this coin represents. It's proof that the smallest objects can carry the grandest stories. That within a 5-cent piece, there can live decades of history, chemistry, and pure human wonder. The 1978 green and brown layer nickel reminds us that nature and metal can collide to create something that money alone can't measure. A treasure with a soul. So if you ever find a Jefferson nickel that looks slightly different, one that gleams with strange green or brown hues, don't dismiss it. Don't clean it. Don't toss it aside. You could be looking at a 6-figure gem. And when you do, remember, you saw it here first. Right here on Rare Coin News USA. This is why we hunt. This is why collectors never stop looking, because treasures like this remind us that the American dream still hides in plain sight. Coins, like the 1978 no Mintmark, are more than metal. They're miracles of history. And who knows, the next one might be waiting in your pocket right now. Because in this world, fortune doesn't just favor the rich. It favors the curious, the patient, the believers. So if you have been inspired by these stories, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and join our growing family of treasure hunters across America. Because every single day, we uncover fresh finds, new market updates, and coins that could make you the next big discovery story. This is Rare Coin News USA, where history lives, legends are found, and fortunes are waiting to be discovered. Stay curious, stay passionate, and I'll see you in tomorrow's hunt.